Shame, 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 shame.
क्या रे shame shame? One winter and I'm not making a tomato soup. और ये शुरू अपना shame shame. Well, today I'm going to make a nice warming, hot and piping tomato shorba for you. Well, on second thoughts, I keep thinking, why call it a soup? Why can't we call it a shorba? Well, you let me know in the comment section whether you prefer the word soup or shorba.
Sir, soup चाहिए. We need it.
Hey, chalna. After the packaging, let's begin tomato shorba.
अरे सर सूप चाहिए पर.
This tomato shorba, trust me, is one of the simplest shorbas you can ever make. And because it has these nice, wonderful warming properties, this winter, you must make it for your family. Well, tomato is one such ingredient which is so universal. It is literally available in every country. And to that, every country has its own peculiar recipe that they all make and enjoy. Well, this one, of course, is from India. So tomato shorba is for all of you who, one, love Indian food, and second, are fans of tomato soup or tomato shorba. You pick nice, plump, ripe ones. The second step is to wash it, of course, and then you cut it roughly. Well, this recipe is also like literally a no-brainer recipe because you don't need to do anything beyond just following the recipe and assembling everything together. As simple as that. The first step is to, of course, transfer all of this into the stock pot or the cauldron. And the flame currently is off. The next step is to move on to pounding a few ingredients. Let's begin with ginger. And along with this, I'm going to add in some cloves of garlic. Let's crush this roughly. While I'm crushing all of this, I'm also going to add in some flavorings at this stage because that will help in kind of opening up the aromatics. The first thing is cumin. And all this is untoasted, so remember that. To this, I'm going to add in black peppercorns. Along with this, coriander seeds. I'm also going to add in 2 cloves and a tiny piece of cinnamon. Let's crush all of this. Once you give all of this a few knocks, we transfer this into the cauldron with tomatoes. Now, like I said earlier, this is an important step because that way it just kind of opens up all the aromatics. Another step which could be a tad bit complex, and that is wrapping all of this into a muslin cloth and then making a little potli, like a little bundle of all these spices and aromatics and dropping it into this. But what I have done is I have taken the recipe in such a way that all of this, even if it gets crushed together and pureed or pulped or sieved at a later stage, this is going to remain wonderful and just to the point. In terms of a potli, generally the spices are a little more than what are required for the recipe because then you just kind of extract it, squeeze it, and that's about it. And all of that goes in the garbage, so remember that. Once this is done, let's add in the remaining ingredients, beginning with bay leaves. Just to kind of thicken this slightly, I'm going to add in gram flour, which is again untoasted. Remember that because all of this is now going to get sauteed or stir-fried. A touch of turmeric powder. A few stems of coriander. Now, coriander stems are very important to this recipe because that's where you get the freshness, the fresh flavor of coriander. Red chilli powder. This is for that spice as well as just enhancing that bright, vibrant color of tomatoes. Salt. And a tablespoonful of vegetable oil. Remember the fact that the flame is still off, it is not on. This is the stage where you turn the flame on and you stir fry all of this for at least 2 to 3 minutes till it kind of gets scorched at the bottom because all of those brown little bits will add into the smoky aroma of this wonderful warming shorba. On high flame, it's all about stir frying this till it gets scorched. Now, what you need to do is scrape a little and let a little be because you want those little brown bits, remember that. Let this cook on high flame for at least 2 to 3 minutes, untouched, undisturbed. The next step is to add in water, cover this and allow this to boil for at least 20 minutes. Let's leave this covered on medium flame. And while this is cooking, let's move into the next segment, Knowledge is Power. Today, let's talk about how to buy tomatoes. Now, buying tomatoes primarily depends on what you want the tomatoes for. Now, you may want the tomatoes for a sabzi, you may want it for a soup, you may want it for salads or sandwiches. Now, it also depends whether you're looking at green tomatoes, yellow tomatoes, or red tomatoes. Now, primarily, as a thumb rule, green tomatoes of course should be green, yellow should be yellow, and red should be red. But when you're looking at ripe tomatoes, they of course have to be firm, they have to be plump red, they have to smell nice and fruity. Primarily remember that. For something like a soup, you can anytime go for maybe the second grade of tomatoes. But when you're using something for salads or sandwiches, always and always go for the first grade. Remember that. Now let's head back to the kitchen. This has been gloriously bubbling for the last couple of minutes. With this, off goes the flame. And now, this is a big twist for you. Now, the shorba can be served two ways. This can directly be plated, this can directly go in the bowl. The second step is to strain this. Now, before straining, we need to puree this. So that is quintessentially the shorba that all you and I know of. So that is a thin broth with the flavor of the vegetables. Remember that. So the next step is to blend this. But before blending, we're going to quickly stir this just in case there are any bits remaining here and there, which could be possibly burnt on the sides. So just scrape all of this. And I'm going to remove bay leaf from this recipe. We do not want the bay leaf to be blended because that's not going to have a great mouthfeel. And the next step is to blend this into a smooth pulp. With this, the tomato shorba, the second version is done and ready. In both the cases, what is important is to check for salts. Remember that. Now this gets strained. The whole idea of straining here is to ensure that all the little things that would otherwise have a little untoward mouthfeel get eliminated. Now in this case, it could be the skin of the tomatoes or the seeds of the tomatoes or the little bit of spices here and there that we had added. So remember all of that. With the back of the ladle or with a round spoon or a ladle of any kind, you just press it against the mesh, against the sieve, and that's where you get a nice smooth tomato shorba. Our shorba is blended, sieved and ready to go straight on the dinner table. One final mix and let's serve this now. Like I said in the beginning, soup is something that all of us make for every winter. So this winter, let's try something different. Let's make a nice shorba which is warming and comforting. Well, make this, try this because anybody can cook with Rajshri food. If you've liked this video, like it and keep watching Rajshri food. Bye for now.